Microsoft Azure Online Training. Learn and improve your skill and knowledge. Introduction to Microsoft Azure Online Training. Microsoft Azure is a cloud computing platform and an online portal that provides you to access and manage cloud services and resources offered by Microsoft. These services and resources include storing your data and transforming it, depending on your needs. To get access to these resources and services, all you need to have been an active internet connection and the ability to connect to the Azure portal. Fundamentals of Azure Online Training. Cloud computing concepts. This topic covers the basics of cloud computing, such as what it is, how it works, and the different types of cloud computing services. Azure Architecture. This topic covers the different components of the Azure Cloud Platform, such as Azure regions, availability zones, and virtual networks. Azure Management and Governance. This topic covers the tools and techniques used to manage and govern Azure resources, such as Azure Resource Manager and Azure Policy. Azure Security. This topic covers the security features offered by Azure, such as identity and access management, threat protection, and compliance. Azure Pricing and Support. This topic covers the pricing models for Azure services and the support options available to Azure customers. Azure Compute. Virtual Machines, VMs. This topic covers how to create, manage, and scale VMs in Azure. You will learn about different VM sizes, types, and regions. Containers. This topic covers how to containerize your applications and deploy them to Azure. You will learn about Docker, Kubernetes, and Azure Container Registry. Serverless computing. This topic covers how to run your applications without having to manage any infrastructure. You will learn about Azure Functions and Azure Logic Apps. High Availability and Disaster Recovery. This topic covers how to make your applications highly available and resilient to failures. You will learn about Azure Availability Zones, Azure Site Recovery, and Azure Traffic Manager. Cost Management. This topic covers how to optimize the cost of your Azure compute resources. You will learn about Azure Pricing, Azure Cost Management, and Azure Budgets. Networking on Azure Online Training. Virtual networks. Virtual networks are isolated networks that you can create in Azure. They allow you to control who can access your resources and how they can communicate with each other. Load balancing. Load balancing distributes traffic across multiple servers to improve performance and availability. Azure offers a variety of load balancing options, including Azure Load Balancer and Azure Traffic Manager. DNS, Domain Name System, DNS, is a service that translates domain names into IP addresses. Azure offers a managed DNS service called Azure DNS. Virtual WAN. Virtual WAN is a networking service that brings together on-premises networks, branch offices, and multiple Azure regions into a single, scalable network. ExpressRoute. ExpressRoute is a private connection between your on-premises network and Azure. It provides a dedicated, high-bandwidth connection that is not subject to the same internet traffic congestion as public networks. Private Link. Private Link is a service that allows you to create private connections between Azure services. This can be used to improve security and performance. Network Security Groups. Network Security Groups, NSGs, are used to control traffic flow into and out of your virtual networks. They can be used to block specific traffic, such as from certain IP addresses or ports. Azure Firewall. Azure Firewall is a managed, cloud-based network security service that protects your Azure resources. It can be used to create and enforce security policies for your virtual networks. Benefits of Microsoft Azure Online Training. Flexibility. You can learn at your own pace and time from anywhere in the world. Affordability. Online training is typically more affordable than classroom training. Convenience. You can access the training materials whenever you need them, from any device. Variety of options. There are many different online training providers and courses available, so you can find one that fits your needs and budget. Expert instruction. Many online training courses are taught by experienced Azure experts who can give you the knowledge and skills you need to succeed. Hands-on experience. Many online training courses include hands-on exercises, so you can practice what you learn. Certification opportunities. Some online training courses offer certification exams, which can help you validate your skills and knowledge. Career advancement. Azure skills are in high demand, so online training can help you advance your career. Key features of Azure Online Training. Self-paced. You can learn at your own pace without having to attend classes at a specific time or location. Flexible. You can access the training from anywhere, at any time, using any device with an internet connection. Accredited. The training is accredited by Microsoft, so you can be sure that you are learning from the best. Up to date. The training is regularly updated to reflect the latest changes in Azure. Interactive. The training uses a variety of interactive features, such as videos, quizzes, and hands-on labs, to help you learn more effectively. Supportive. You have access to support from instructors and other learners, so you can get help when you need it. Learn the latest Azure skills. Azure is constantly evolving, so it's important to stay up to date on the latest features and services. Microsoft Azure Online Training can help you do that. Get certified. Microsoft Azure certification is a valuable credential that can help you advance your career. Microsoft Azure Online Training can help you prepare for the certification exams. Build your skills. Microsoft Azure Online Training can help you build your skills in cloud computing, DevOps, AI, and other areas. These skills are in high demand, so they can help you get a job or advance your career. Understanding Azure Online Training. Start with the basics. Before you can dive into the more advanced topics, it's important to have a solid understanding of the basics of Azure. This includes understanding cloud computing concepts, Azure architecture, and Azure management and governance. Find the right training for you. There are many different types of Microsoft Azure Online Training available, so it's important to find the one that's right for you. Consider your learning style, your budget, and your goals when making your decision. Be patient. Learning Azure takes time and effort. Don't expect to become an expert overnight. Set realistic goals for yourself and don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. Get hands-on experience. The best way to learn Azure is by doing. Take advantage of the free trials and sandboxes that are available so you can experiment with Azure services and build your skills. Stay up to date. Azure is constantly evolving, so it's important to stay up to date with the latest features and services. Subscribe to the Microsoft Azure blog and follow the Azure experts on Twitter to stay in the loop. Topics you can learn with Azure Online Training. Cloud computing concepts. Azure architecture. Azure management and governance. Azure compute services. Azure Storage Services, Azure Networking Services, Azure Security Features, Azure Management Tools, Azure DevOps Tools, Azure AI Services, Azure App Services. What does Azure Online Training do? Microsoft Azure Online Training provides you with the skills and knowledge you need to build, deploy, and manage applications on Microsoft Azure. The training covers a wide range of topics, from the basics of cloud computing to advanced topics such as machine learning and artificial intelligence. Here are some of the things you can do with Microsoft Azure Online Training. Learn the fundamentals of cloud computing. Understand the different Azure services. Build and deploy applications on Azure. Manage Azure resources. Secure your Azure applications. Implement DevOps practices on Azure. Develop machine learning and artificial intelligence solutions on Azure. Microsoft Azure Online Training is a valuable resource for anyone who wants to learn about Azure or advance their career in cloud computing. The training is available in a variety of formats, including self-paced courses, instructor-led training, and hands-on labs. Data Analytics of Azure Online Training. Azure Data Services. This subheading covers the data services offered by Azure, such as Azure Data Lake Storage, Azure Data Factory, and Azure Synapse Analytics. Data Ingestion. This subheading covers the process of collecting data from different sources and loading it into Azure. Data Preparation. This subheading covers the process of cleaning, transforming, and enriching data to make it ready for analysis. Data Modeling. This subheading covers the process of creating models that represent the data and can be used to make predictions or decisions. Data Visualization. This subheading covers the process of creating charts, graphs, and other visuals to communicate the insights from data analysis. Machine Learning. This subheading covers the use of machine learning algorithms to automate the analysis of data and extract insights. Big Data Analytics. This subheading covers the use of Azure to analyze large datasets that are too big or complex to be processed using traditional methods. Security and Compliance. This subheading covers the security and compliance considerations for data analytics in Azure. Best Practices. This subheading covers the best practices for data analytics in Azure. Architecture and Components. The architecture and components of Microsoft Azure Online Training can be divided into the following layers. Core Infrastructure. This layer includes the physical hardware and software that Azure uses to run its services. It includes data centers, network infrastructure, and storage systems. Management Infrastructure. This layer includes the tools and services that Azure uses to manage its resources. It includes the Azure Portal, Azure Resource Manager, and Azure PowerShell. Platform Services. This layer includes the services that Azure provides to developers and IT professionals. It includes virtual machines, storage, networking, and compute services. Application Services. This layer includes the services that Azure provides to build and deploy applications. It includes web apps, mobile apps, and API apps. Data Services. This layer includes the services that Azure provides to store and analyze data. It includes relational databases, NoSQL databases, and big data analytics services. AI Services. This layer includes the services that Azure provides to build and deploy AI applications. It includes machine learning, natural language processing, and computer vision services. Performance optimization. Use the right Azure services for your needs. Not all Azure services are created equal. Some are better suited for certain workloads than others. Use the right Azure configuration settings. The default configuration settings for Azure services are not always optimal. You may need to adjust them to get the best performance. Use Azure best practices. There are many best practices for performance optimization in Azure. By following these best practices, you can improve the performance of your applications and services. Monitor your Azure applications and services. It is important to monitor the performance of your Azure applications and services so that you can identify and troubleshoot performance problems early. By following these tips, you can improve the performance of your Azure applications and services. Multi-channel marketing. Microsoft Azure Multi-Channel Marketing Fundamentals by Microsoft Learn. This course provides an overview of multi-channel marketing and how to use Azure to implement it. It covers topics such as planning a multi-channel marketing campaign, creating and managing marketing assets, and tracking and measuring results. Advantages of Azure Online Training. There are many advantages to Microsoft Azure Online Training. Here are a few of the most important ones. Flexibility. Online training can be done at your own pace and from anywhere in the world. This makes it a great option for busy professionals who want to learn Azure without having to disrupt their work or personal life. Cost-effectiveness. Online training is typically more affordable than classroom training. This is because you don't have to pay for travel, lodging, and other expenses associated with attending a live event. Convenience. Online training can be accessed 24/7, so you can learn at a time that is convenient for you. This is especially helpful if you have a busy schedule or if you prefer to learn in the evenings or on weekends. Personalized learning. Online training can be customized to your specific needs and learning style. This is because you can choose the courses that you want to take and the pace at which you want to learn. Interactive learning. Many online training courses offer interactive exercises and simulations that allow you to practice what you're learning. This helps you to solidify your knowledge and skills. Access to experts. Many online training courses are taught by Microsoft certified experts. This means that you can learn from the best in the industry. Community support. Many online training platforms offer forums and discussion boards where you can connect with other learners and ask questions. This can be a great way to get help and support as you're learning Azure. If you're interested in learning Azure, Proexcellency's online training is a great option. It's flexible, affordable, convenient, and personalized. You can also learn from experts and get help and support from other learners. Career opportunities in Azure Online Training. There are many career opportunities available for people with Microsoft Azure skills. Some of the most in-demand roles include Azure Cloud Architect. Cloud architects design, implement, and manage cloud-based solutions. They need to have a deep understanding of Azure services and how they can be used to meet business needs. Azure Developer. Azure developers build and deploy applications on Azure. They need to be proficient in programming languages such as Java, Python, and C#, as well as Azure services such as Azure App Services and Azure Functions. Azure DevOps Engineer. Azure DevOps engineers automate the development, testing, and deployment of applications. They need to have experience with Azure DevOps tools such as Azure Pipelines and Azure Boards. Azure Security Engineer. Azure Security Engineers secure Azure environments. They need to have knowledge of Azure security features such as Azure Active Directory and Azure Firewall. Azure Solutions Architect. Azure Solutions Architects consult with businesses to help them adopt Azure. They need to have a deep understanding of Azure services and how they can be used to solve business problems. Salary expectation in Azure Online Training. The salary expectation after completing Microsoft Azure Online Training depends on a number of factors, including your experience, skills, and location. However, in general, you can expect to earn a higher salary with an Azure certification than without one. According to Ambition Box, the average salary for an Azure Cloud engineer in India is 6 lakhs rupees per year. This can range from 3.3 lakhs rupees to 14 lakhs rupees depending on experience and skills. Here are some of the factors that can affect your salary after completing Microsoft Azure Online Training. Your experience. If you have previous experience working with cloud computing technologies, you will likely be able to command a higher salary. Your skills. The more Azure-specific skills you have, the more valuable you will be to employers and the higher your salary will be. Your location. The average salary for an Azure Cloud engineer in India is lower than in other countries. However, the cost of living is also lower in India, so your take-home salary may be comparable. The company you work for. The size and industry of the company you work for can also affect your salary. Larger companies and companies in the IT industry tend to pay higher salaries. If you are interested in a career in cloud computing, Microsoft Azure Online Training is a great way to get started. With the right skills and experience, you can command a high salary in this in-demand field. Here are some tips for increasing your salary expectation after completing Microsoft Azure Online Training. Get certified. Azure certifications are a great way to demonstrate your skills and knowledge to employers. Gain experience. The more experience you have working with Azure, the more valuable you will be to employers. Network with other Azure professionals. Attend industry events and meetups to meet other Azure professionals and learn about job opportunities. Stay up to date on the latest Azure technologies. The cloud computing industry is constantly evolving, so it is important to stay up to date on the latest technologies. Tools used by Microsoft Azure. Microsoft Azure offers a wide range of tools for developing, deploying, and managing applications. Here are some of the most popular tools. Azure Portal. The Azure Portal is a web-based interface that you can use to manage your Azure resources. It provides a single view of your resources, and you can use it to create, configure, and monitor your applications. Azure Resource Manager. Azure Resource Manager is a service that helps you to manage your Azure resources in a declarative way. You can use Resource Manager to create templates that define your resources, and then deploy those templates to Azure. Azure PowerShell. Azure PowerShell is a command line interface that you can use to manage your Azure resources. PowerShell provides a wide range of cmdlets that you can use to automate tasks, such as creating and deleting resources. Azure CLI. Azure CLI is a command line interface that you can use to manage your Azure resources from a Linux or macOS machine. The CLI is similar to PowerShell, but it is designed to be used from a non-Windows machine. Azure SDKs. Azure SDKs are libraries that you can use to develop applications that interact with Azure services. There are SDKs available for a variety of programming languages, including Java, Python, and C#. How to overcome the challenges in Azure? Complexity. Azure is a complex platform with many different services and features. This can make it difficult for organizations to get started with Azure or to migrate their workloads to the cloud. To overcome this challenge, organizations should start small and focus on a few key services. They should also use Azure best practices and tools to help them manage their Azure environment. Security. Security is a top priority for Azure. However, organizations are still responsible for securing their data and applications in Azure. To overcome this challenge, organizations should implement strong security controls, such as encryption, access control, and intrusion detection. They should also use Azure security features, such as Azure Active Directory and Azure Key Vault. Cost. Azure is a pay-as-you-go platform, so organizations only pay for the services they use. However, the costs of Azure can still be a challenge for some organizations. To overcome this challenge, organizations should carefully plan their Azure usage and choose the right pricing model. They should also use Azure cost management tools to track their Azure spending. Vendor lock-in. Azure is a proprietary platform, so organizations may be concerned about vendor lock-in. This means that they may be unable to easily move their workloads away from Azure if they decide to do so. To overcome this challenge, organizations should use open-source technologies and standards whenever possible. They should also use a hybrid cloud approach, which allows them to run some workloads on-premises and some workloads in the cloud. Skills shortage. There is a shortage of skilled Azure professionals. This can make it difficult for organizations to find the people they need to manage their Azure environment. To overcome this challenge, organizations should invest in training their employees on Azure. They should also partner with Azure partners who can help them with their Azure deployments and migrations. Here are some additional tips for overcoming the challenges of Microsoft Azure. Get help from a Microsoft Azure partner. A partner can help you with everything from planning your Azure deployment to migrating your workloads to the cloud. Use Azure best practices. Azure has a wealth of best practices that can help you design, deploy, and manage your Azure environment. Stay up to date on Azure changes. Microsoft is constantly adding new features and services to Azure. To make the most of Azure, you need to stay up to date on these changes. Use Azure support. Microsoft offers a variety of support options for Azure customers. If you need help with Azure, don't hesitate to contact Microsoft support. Why choose Proexcellency for Microsoft Azure Online Training? There are many reasons why you should choose Proexcellency for Microsoft Azure Online Training. Here are a few of them. Expert instructors. Proexcellency's instructors are experts in Microsoft Azure and have years of experience in the field. They are passionate about teaching and are committed to helping you learn Azure. Interactive training. Proexcellency's training is interactive and engaging. You will learn by doing, with hands-on exercises and projects. Flexible learning options. Proexcellency offers flexible learning options, so you can learn at your own pace and on your own time. You can choose to take live online classes, self-paced online courses, or blended learning courses. Accredited training. Proexcellency's training is accredited by Microsoft, so you can be confident that you are getting quality training. They offer a wide range of courses, from beginner to advanced levels. Their courses are up to date with the latest Azure features and technologies. They have a dedicated team of support staff who are available to help you with any questions or problems you may have. They offer a variety of payment options, so you can find a plan that fits your budget. If you are looking for the best Microsoft Azure online training, Proexcellency is a great option. With their expert instructors, interactive training, and flexible learning options, you can be sure to learn Azure and build your skills. Contact information. Thank you.